Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte has confirmed that a Go Duterte tandem is in the works for the 2022 polls. The presidential daughter also said that she was asked for her support and also asked to take the senator as her running mate. Let's try to make sense of all these statements with political analyst Dindo Manhit, who joins us live via Zoom. Sir Dindo, good evening. Good to have you back. It's certainly election season once again. What was your reaction to the statement of Sara Duterte after the palace said that the president is willing to give way? How do we make sense of all these opposing statements, seemingly?
Good evening, Sean. Good evening to your televiewers. I think if you are Sara Duterte on your end, you've been moving around trying to build a coalition to offer yourself as a candidate of his father to build on his legacy, then you get this confusing signal that the party of the president gets to endorse the president, gets to endorse Senator Bong Go. So I think what Mayor Sara would like to happen is a clearer direction with regards to, at the end of the day, they cannot run one ticket with Bong Go and Duterte and Sara Duterte with whoever she chooses on the other hand, because that will split their vote. So I think she is also getting surprised with all this action being done by some allies of the president. If you've noticed, these allies come from the cabinet, members of the cabinet.
Like if I may ask, do you really think it's impossible for that to happen, that they both run? Does it actually make zero sense?
It's impossible. That's why I believe this could be political posturing. It means, we are entering the last few weeks before candidates will file their certificate of candidacy, their final intention for candidacy. So we can expect a lot of this posturing, because at the end of the day, this is when alliances and coalitions will be made. So I think what's happening with Sara Duterte, Mayor Sara, is that this is quite confusing, because she knows at the end of the day, she might even have been encouraged by the family to run, to build on the legacy of the father. So why have this news on one hand, and she seems to be out of the loop? I think she gets to hear the news just like all of us. We see all those announcements. So she's reacting to that also.
That's right. So this is my next question. Is it all a smokescreen? I mean, they are very politically savvy, and it's really hard to swallow that they don't understand what's going on and that they just find out from the news. And we've seen the savviness in the last elections as well. So how do we then,
I will put some sense to it. It's possible. Okay. It's a way to, it's an attempt to diffuse any attempt by the opposition or the alternative group to the president to build their own coalition and alliance. That means keep them guessing. It creates that fear that you will run against the president. So people will suddenly take a back step backward, and suddenly we get Sara Duterte instead of Bong Go, the president. So it's a possible ploy, possible smokescreen. But I believe those who are looking at the possibility of running against the candidate of President Duterte has factored that in already. That means they know the strength of President Duterte, they know the capacity of endorsement, so it might not really work that much at this time.
All right, so yeah, same old trick, huh? So they say. Now, I want to ask what you think will be the impact of all this to the ruling party, PDP Laban, which apparently, if we are to believe the news, is already divided. And so basically, I'm asking you, Sir Dindo, what is the impact of this to PDP Laban and also, of course, to the opposition, Isang Bayan?
I think what will happen really is we will see Sara Duterte running for president. She has a strong support base, being the daughter of the president, being the consistent image that can best build on the Duterte legacy. But she will run not under PDP Laban. It's the other way around. She might build her own coalition, and from her coalition, I think she would like the PDP Laban to simply support her. But the PDP Laban would like to be the dominant. That means the PDP Laban would like to be the one that will choose the candidate. I think that's where the confusion or the conflict is happening right now. But what we will see, I think, come October, when they file their candidacy, is that there will really be a big division. It's not how we see it today. Is it PDP Laban? Is it Liberal Party? Is it Sara Duterte? Is it Umpo? Is it Isang Bayan? Because I'd like to remind everyone, your televiewers, that in the Philippines, because of our weak political party system, every election time, there's a realignment of forces. That means, just like President Duterte was not a member of PDP Laban until he filed his candidacy. He was even a member of the Liberal Party. Before that, he was a member of the Lakas. So you'd see a lot of realignment in the next few weeks.
Yes, this is changing ships or jumping ships.
Yes.
Right. So while we're on the topic and we've already been discussing stuff about the ruling party PDP Laban, I wanted to get your thoughts, Sir Dindo, on Senator Koko Pimentel denying that he was blaming Mayor Inday Sara for the troubles within the party.
There's always been this conflict as far back as 2019. If you would remember, Sean, that Senator Koko Pimentel was running under the coalition of President Duterte for Senate, but I think he was not even endorsed by Mayor Sara. So I think there was a running conflict since 2019 midterm election. So because of that, I think there's always this feeling that Senator Pimentel might be attacking Mayor Sara or the other way around. So again, these are all the noise that we will continue to hear because people are positioning. Right now, it's very clear that Senator Pimentel is not supporting Mayor Sara because Senator Pimentel is supporting Senator Pacquiao. That's very clear. The political lines are being drawn at this time.
I was going to say that was pretty clearly drawn. So Dindo, any early thoughts on who will be the poll front runners? I mean, you've already given some names, or would you say that it's really too early to tell at this point and let's just wait for October?
It's good to wait for October because at the end of the day, after October, it will take a few months before we even go into actual election campaign, which is by February 2022. But one thing for sure is that the history of Philippine national election, the last few weeks before even the last day of filing, you'll see a lot of political movements and alliance building. So we should watch out. But at the end of the day, you just hope that whoever the candidates are should keep in mind that elections are opportunities either to change a path which we're not happy about or to continue. So that's the choice you normally have to ask yourself. Are we happy where we are during this pandemic time when people are suffering from hunger and poverty, unemployment, underemployment? So who can best offer solution to the day-to-day struggle of the Filipino people, I think will rise above the rest.
That's right. And I think another big sector that can provide change amid these trying times with the pandemic, and all these theatrics. Of course, the public also. We can change things, especially now that we are in unprecedented times heading into a presidential election. Sir Dindo, what should we keep in mind this time around that we have perhaps failed in the past or just maybe because times are different?
What we have seen with the rise of social media since 2016 in Philippine elections, and I think we have a number of 89 people active social media users, is this so-called pandemic of misinformation. That means they use social media because it lacks the editorial discipline of news networks like yours, is that people simply can post or twist facts. So the challenge for the public is be conscious of what these disinformations are and really help shape the results of the election based on actual data, information, and not to be brought down to that level of pushing fake news, pushing disinformation. Because at the end of the day, they suffer at the end. They might elect somebody that was not that was not even talking of the truth or providing the right program of government or the right path to economic recovery post-COVID. So we have to be very wary. We have to be very focused. And for the general public, this is about their life. At the end of the day, who we elect defines our life for the next 6 years.
That's right. I'm going to take this time to remind everyone that registration should still be ongoing right now for your chance to vote in exercise, or rather, your right to vote in next year's poll.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time and insights. As usual, political analyst Dindo Manhit via Zoom.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.